Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the brand new 2022 feature film, The Lost City. This stars Divine Joy Randolph, Daniel Radcliffe, Channing Tatum. Brad Pitt is in this for a couple scenes, and the elusive, not elusive, the inquisitive. I'm trying to think of sizzle words. These beautiful verbs to describe our one and only queen, goddess amongst us mere mortals, Sandra Bullock. So, this movie is awesome. I just watched it with my parents. It just dropped on Amazon Prime. It had a theatrical release, and I don't surprise easily, right? I'm very opinionated. I note certain character developments through many of things we've talked about. I note very certain plot points of story, the flow of story things, right? This was so well done, and I don't understand why it's not talked about as immensely as it should be. Like, it has like a 6 point something on IMDb. It's so good. It's so good. The directors, I think they're brothers. They did an incredible job putting this together. The story is Sandra Bullock plays this character, and she plays the character Loretta, and she is a writer. She writes all these schlock books, as she calls them, these romance books, and her main character, this is based off her, kind of, not really, but then the love interest in the book, his name is Dash, and Dash is portrayed as a cover model from Channing Tatum, and Channing Tatum's character of Alan is a model who just is Dash, right? So people know him as Dash on the street, all these different things. There wasn't any film adaptations of her books. There wasn't any, TV adaptations of her books. It's just the books. So the only face that the fans have would be Dash as Alan, as the Dash character in the Fabio kind of wig, right? So the two of them are going on a book tour for her next book. She's reclusive. She doesn't like being out in public. She doesn't want to finish her next book. She doesn't want to do anything, right? Divine plays his character, Beth, who's basically her agent, and forcing her to finish the book lovingly. Gets the book finished. They go on the book tour, and then all hell breaks loose with Sandra's character Loretta being taken, thrown in a hangar. Daniel Radcliffe's character, who is incredible, his last name is Fairfax, and he is a wealthy billionaire, and he bought half an island in the Atlantic to do some archaeological digging to find this red crown of so and so. Based off the myths and all these different things. He found this, it's not papyrus, but he found this writing on a fragmented scroll, and he needs Loretta to translate it because her last book is called The Lost City of D, and the D is short for whatever the native city was on that particular island back in the day that is in ruins. So Fairfax actually found The Lost City of D, and he found this fragment, and he needs Loretta to translate it because she's an archaeologist. Her and her husband were, doing a lot of archaeological digs and stuff like that before his passing. She then went into book writing, and so he needs her to translate to find this red crown of this, queen on the island who passed. So Loretta doesn't want to do it. She's chloroformed. She's taken to the island against her will. But Dan's character is so good throughout the entire thing. He does such a great job with that good intentions, like wants the history of it, but he wants the treasure of it, thinking it's an actual jeweled crown. But then, of course, he's a villain, so he has the villain mindset going through. Having the locals be a part of the plot as well. Alan trying to get to the island to save Loretta. He gets the help of his one of his past trainers, who's played by Brad Pitt, who's an ex-Navy SEAL, to go to the island to help get Loretta. And there's all these different fight scenes, all these different moments, having Loretta and Alan just, escape through the jungle constantly. Her in a sequin, magenta suit. Hysterical. Absolutely hysterical jumpsuit. And watching the two of them open up to each other, watching the two of them, start to fall for each other, but realize the past, realize that Loretta is still trying to figure out a way of moving on without her husband that she would do all these adventures with. Finding the tomb, finding that the red crown is just a thing of seashells, basically, that there's no actual jewels, that it was just a metaphor for love, that her actual greatest treasure was her husband. Very similar to Loretta's actual greatest treasure was her husband before his passing. Then it's just all these different things at the wrap-up, but Beth going on her adventure to try to save Loretta, and Alan in the mix, thanks to tracking a smartwatch. It's just so well done. I'm very impressed, especially with the 1 year later, that there's the new book out, and the two of them are now, Alan and Loretta are kissing on the beach. It's impressive. It's very impressive. I expect this to be a comedy. I didn't expect this to be as dramatic as it actually was, but it was so well done with the mix of comedy and dramedy and the action adventure part to it. This was a straight up archaeological adventure. And the last straight up archaeological adventure film we had that was big was Gal Gadot, Dwayne Johnson, and Ryan Reynolds was in it. What the hell was it called? Red Notice. That was on Netflix. That was another big archaeological exploration. Before that, we had the two giant Jumanji films with Dwayne. And, there's always some kind of archaeological film. Indiana Jones is always the go-to for everybody. The Goonies as well. But, it's neat seeing this now on a modern front with modern tech, because what would happen, can you actually track someone with a smartwatch via GPS, via satellites to a remote island? Can you actually get, some kind of Navy or Coast Guard to help you find this individual who you actually know is on an island? So it's not a matter of where are they, what island are they on? What island they're on. It's just a matter of finding them on the island. It's very different. It's very different compared to previous archaeological films from back in the day. So I like this new take on it, but I also like the authenticity of it. I like that the history is brought to full effect. I like the modernization of it. I love that Sandra Bullock's character is an open and proud sapiosexual. She literally explains that she's attracted to intelligence. That's what sapiosexual is. It's a broad spectrum of the asexual umbrella. You have the sapiosexual, you have demisexual. Demisexual is more attracted to someone on an emotional front. Sapiosexual is attracted to someone more on an intellectual front. Different branches. Yes, it's still technically under that queer/asexual banner, just because it's you're not constantly sexually attracted to someone. It's very specific circumstances. That's why it's sexual orientation. But I've never heard that in a movie before. So to have her just say, I'm sapiosexual, I'm attracted to intelligence, and then no one question it, and then move on to the next thing. So cool, so modern. I've been on these queer book binges recently since what, May or something like that, because of all the Heartstopper books, because of the Heartstopper show. Alice Oseman is a mere goddess amongst us mere mortals as well. It's just so neat having all this representation finally in film, TV, and book that we didn't really have back in the day. And it's cool how no one questioned that one little line that no one's even thinking about, aside from people who are, within the alphabet, as we currently say. It's neat seeing that. It's very important for representation. It's important to see where we're going as a community as well. Not just in regards to a alphabet community. I love saying alphabet. Because sexuality is a spectrum. It's not just a black and white answer anymore. It's a spectrum. Now that we have the words to say that it's a spectrum, it's neat to say that. So it's cool seeing that from a representation front. It's cool seeing it from a modern take on tech meeting archaeological digging. How does new meet old within a film? But then also the actors and actresses did an incredible job, and I don't know why this isn't talked about as much as it should be. This can easily have 3 sequels. I really hope there is. And Divine did an incredible job as that character of Beth. We know and love her from Only Murders in the Building. She's a detective on that. Awesome actress. Awesome. Everybody did a great job. I love this film. I will definitely be seeing this again very soon. Mucho mahalo.